Hey y'all, welcome to episode 7 of the Stay at Home Son podcast. And today we have a very special episode, but really, when is it not a special episode? Today we are going to be reviewing John King's short film, kind of documentary film, more like I would call it more of a documentary, The Bells. So this was a very interesting film. It's a lot different than what we have reviewed in the past. So Thomas, you want to give a little rundown about what you think and first initial thoughts?
Well, okay. I think my first initial thoughts, so basically I'm if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think basically the film follows a bunch of older women and they form kind of like this dance group after they see some group in America doing it on Facebook, and they just kind of wanted to pass the time, and they're all just kind of like reflecting on life and preparing for like this big competition.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting in that way, but I think the film, what I really like about it is at the start it kind of talks about how like older women feel invisible to society because they feel like maybe their youth has passed them by, and maybe there's some standards there where women get judged differently than men on certain things. And I think it was kind of interesting how that was kind of the underlining tone of the film. Like, yes, it's showing the woman going to this thing, this dance group, the Bells they call it, where they all dress up and kind of get to be free and get to be with like-minded people. But I think what it was really trying to highlight underneath it all was that a lot of older women feel very alienated in society. So I think that was a pretty interesting point. And I haven't really seen a film made from that perspective. I've seen talking points from that perspective before in the past, but I've never seen someone allocate the time to doing that. And I think he did a really good job with making that the central idea throughout the film without having the subjects really say too much about that. It's kind of like it was almost like they said it once and then it just kind of showed that point throughout. And it wasn't like constantly ranged home, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how you bring up that point too, because like I'm sitting there throughout the entire movie just like trying to figure out. I'm like, well, okay, we're following like these old women that are reflecting on life and preparing for this big dance competition. It's like I've seen like a bunch of other like retirees go to like I don't know like a Zumba club or whatever, and I'm like trying to figure out well like what makes this different. So I'm like I think you really hit the nail in the coffin with that beginning point there.
Yeah, and what I think our director here, John, did an amazing job of is because I mean I have interest in doing documentary film because if y'all know the Watch podcast, me and Thomas we make films, we act in films, so we're kind of savvy in this, and we do have interest in doing documentaries. And I think what I really liked about this one is how it was able to have the subjects what they're talking and what they have them say, and what he cut in there really told the story. It wasn't like it was just a preachy message. A lot of documentary filmmakers, especially first time ones, I've noticed like so you know what the message is, and then every time they get a subject to talk about that, it's just reiterating that message. But you're really trying to tell a story based around that message, and I think he did a phenomenal job with that because, like I said, you got the message pretty clear right on how the woman were talking about how they feel alienated and feel a little bit alone and feel like they might have the life might have passed them by a little bit. But then after that, you see how this group has kind of enriched their lives and has given them purpose and value, but it's never like super hammered into you. It's kind of like you're just enjoying watching it and you're thinking, oh, look at them having fun. But it's not like they're constantly telling you how much fun they're having. So I think that's a really good thing for documentary filmmakers that they could take from this if you watch it is really making sure your subjects are telling a story, not just saying the same point over and over. I see that a lot in news too, like because we also were we went to school for actually news reporting, so we kind of had to learn about interviewing and interviewing subjects. And a lot of people ask the same question 6 different times. It's like you really want to tell a story with the question, and I think he did a phenomenal job. I mean, I could tell he really just let the subjects run with it, and that it's pretty hard doing that. And I will take from this film if I ever do a documentary one day for sure. I mean, it's phenomenally well done.
I mean, I think as somebody who does enjoy more like nonfiction documentaries too, I think the one story that stood out was there was one lady. I think she was talking about how like basically like you know I think they were talking about like there it was an inter it was in with like a part about like how much like budgeting and stuff is in this whole group, and she's all like, well, it's a little expensive, but like I really enjoy it because it gives me purpose because basically like her husband and all her family is gone.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that too? Like I feel like even people our age, because we're young, we're only like 23, 24, but I think even young people can learn from this because if you are constantly just doing life day to day and every day kind of feels the same, it gets kind of hard sometimes to feel like you have a purpose or meaning. So sometimes joining things like this and putting yourself out there with like-minded people goes a really long way in going out of your comfort zone. So I think that this film was made for, probably to highlight this event and help older people feel more validated and feel like they still can contribute and still feel valued in society. But I also think young people can take from this documentary a lot too, because I really think it shows the importance of community. It shows the importance of having stability, and it shows the importance of having like-minded people in certain life circumstances. And they talk about with Gen Z how we're like a very isolated generation. We kind of live on our phones. We don't really see a lot of people, and it's a very comfortable world doing that. But I think this film, in a way, kind of made me want to call up my friends and say, "Let's go do something," because I just saw all these people having fun who were kind of feeling lonely before. So I really appreciate that, and I think that this film could be enjoyed and watched through all different walks of life, and I think they can all find perspective in it that will help them.
I did have one um, glaring criticism that I did notice, and that was with the production side of it. I do believe that they needed some more like audio gain or something, because like on my phone and on my laptop, I had to like put the volume like pretty high to hear it.
Yeah, they that's actually called. I had to edit that for Payne's branch. It's such a pain to do that. It's called LUFS. So basically, you want everything at like minus 23 LUFS. But if you have it there, sometimes it peaks. So a lot of filmmakers just kind of like half-ass it, like, oh, I'm not going to put it right at minus 23. But if you put it at minus 23, you're pretty much going to sound consistent at every volume. So even if you have it on low volume, it will still sound consistent versus high volume. And that takes a lot of time and a lot of editing, but it's really worth it because especially now with everyone watching your stuff on mobile, it's like not everyone's going to watch it on a TV, and mobile volume's not as high. So if you have that LUFS at 23, you'll be able to it will be able to sound good on any type of platform. So yeah, I did say that sometimes the sound was a little flat, and I think it's because maybe he didn't match the LUFS the way he should have. And it's cool. You live and learn. But other than that, I mean, that was just one issue. But other than that, I thought the story was really good. And I'll always take story over production value. I mean, if the story's good, you can get away with bad production. But if the story's not good, you better have good production. But ultimately, you want to do both.
Yeah, I mean, I personally really enjoyed it myself. I mean, I was kind of like like I said at the beginning, I was like trying to figure. I'm like, well, okay, but then like like as I was listening to like all those ladies have like those deeper stories, like the one woman whose husband was no longer with us. I thought to myself, they all actually have pretty interesting stories.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it really tells that story without just them constantly saying a message. It's really telling a story, underlining a message, and that's what you want to do with documentary filmmaking. So, John, you did a great job on this. I'm looking forward to seeing what else you do with your career, and I think you got a real talent for making documentaries. Also, we really like reviewing documentaries here at the Stay at Home Sun. So, if you're watching this and you have a documentary you want us to review, Thomas is like a political junkie. He knows everything, so we will love to have political films. We're super unbiased. If you're what they like to call democratic socialists, we'll review you. If you're like far right MAGA, we'll review you too. We are completely neutral on that. We just want to see people and expressing their opinions and showing their beliefs that way. So we're open to whatever you want to do. Please feel free to send us those. We will love to review them. And remember, stay at home.